أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وسلم. Inshallah, today we will study second Ruku of Surah Bani Israel. Our last Ruku ended with this statement that all those people who do not believe in the hereafter, they will have a painful punishment in the forthcoming stage of life. Let's start today's lesson with this prayer that may Allah Almighty help us in understanding the Holy Quran in its true perspective by the grace of His beloved Prophet Rahmatul Alameen Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Surah Bani Israel, Ruku 2, comprising verses 11 to 22. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَيَدْعُ الْإِنسَانُ بِالشَّرِّ دُعَاءَهُ بِالْخَيْرِ. And man supplicates for evil as he supplicates for good. وَكَانَ الْإِنسَانُ أَجُولًا. And man is ever hasty. Yadu, praise, invokes. The condition of man is that he invokes for evil like he prays for his goodness. He is extremely rash and is not aware of things which are beneficial for him and which are harmful for him. He always considers himself everything and sets aside the divine laws. The word insan, which is usually translated as man, is derived from word nasu, which means forgetful. In the Holy Quran, insan or man is iterated with following attributes: weak, ungrateful, hasty, depressed, miser, illiterate, foolish, cruel, quarrelsome, convictionless, disobedient, transgressor, edgy, and a loser. It means that the person who has forgotten his true reality is called insan or man. We may note that the word insan has not been used for any prophet or messenger in the Holy Quran because they were aware of their reality. وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ وَالنَّهَارَ آيَاتَيْنِ. And we have made the night and day two signs. فَمَحَوْنَا آيَاتَ اللَّيْلِ وَجَعَلْنَا آيَاتَ النَّهَارِ مُبْصِرَاتًا. So we raised the sign of night and made the sign of day visible. لِتَبْتَغُوا فَضْلًا مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ وَلِتَعْلَمُوا عَدَدَ السِّنِينَ وَالْحِسَابَ. That you may seek bounty from your Lord and may know the number of years and the accounts. وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ فَصَّلْنَاهُ تَفْصِيلًا. And everything we have explained in detail. The first underlined word is فَمَحَوْنَا. So we obliterate. مُبْصِرَاتًا, observable. Allah Almighty has created this universe for His recognition. His signs are spread everywhere. He wants us to contemplate on those signs and become aware of our reality. From those signs, night and day are two of them. In fact, these are the two sides of the same coin. At a particular time, one is dominant while other is recessive. Our life is formed from those stages. The evident phase is called the consciousness, while the hidden one is called the unconscious level. The reason behind the manifestation of the day sign is that we may seek the bounty of our Lord and become cognizant of the calculation of month and years, and earn those things in this life which will be beneficial for us in the next realm. وَكُلَّ إِنسَانٍ أَلْزَمْنَاهُ طَائِرَهُ فِي أُنُوقِهِ. And every man is accused, his augury is fastened to his neck. وَنُخْرِجُ لَهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ كِتَابًا يَلْقَاهُ مَنْشُورًا. And we shall bring out for him a book on the day of resurrection, which he will encounter spread open. Ikra kitabaka. Read your book. Kafa bi nafsikal yawma alayka hasiba. Sufficient is yourself against you this day as accountant. Manshuran, wide open. Every person is accused, and his previous actions are wrapped around his neck. In chapter 2, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 202, it is mentioned, those for them is share of what they earned, and Allah is swift to reckon. Destiny is formed from the performed acts, and its smallest fraction is called fate. Since Insan or man is oblivious, he is unaware of the truth, neither he knows about his purpose of creation, nor does he remember the oath which he made with Lord Almighty before his arrival to this realm. After the end of the present cycle of life, everyone will be presented in front of his Lord and will be told to read the book of his recorded actions. And at that moment, he will be himself be sufficient enough to take account of his deeds. At that moment, veil of forgetfulness will be eliminated. The reality and divine laws will become evident to him, and he becomes worthy enough to witness outcome of his own deeds. Manehtada fa innama yahtadi li nafse. Whoever is guided is only guided for himself. Waman zalla fa innama yazillu alayha. And whoever errs only errs against himself. Wala taziru wa ziratum wizra ukhra. And no bearer of burdens will bear the burden of another. وَمَا كُنَّا مُؤَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. And never would we punish until we appoint a messenger. Taziru, one laden by burden. This verdict is absolutely clear that whoever adheres the path of truth, he benefits for himself, and whoever negates it and remains persistent to his desires, then his outcome will fall upon him. This reality has been iterated various times in the Holy Quran, as mentioned in chapter 39, Surah Az-Zumar, verse 41. Indeed, we sent down to you the book for the people in truth. So whoever is guided, it is for the benefit for himself, and whoever goes astray to his detriment, and you are not a manager over them. Messengers and prophets are both the representative of the hidden, but both have the different duties. The word Nabi is from Hebrew language, and it means the witness of divine. His duty is to educate people about those things whose acquisition requires the negation of physical senses. Whereas messenger is the courier of hidden. He is a connection between Allah Almighty and His creatures. Some prophets are those who are only messengers, while few are those who are messengers as well as prophets. The messenger enforces the legalism, which is the reason for social administration. And it is that knowledge through which the matter within the society are performed in a serene and beneficial way, so that people may live a peaceful and satisfied life to an extent. وَإِذَا أَرَدْنَا أَن نُهْلِكَ قَرْيَةً. And when we intend to destroy a town, أَمَرْنَا مُتْرَافِهَا فَفَسَاقُوا فِيهَا. We command to its affluent, but they defiantly disobey therein. فَحَقَّ عَلَيْهَا الْقَوْلُ فَدَمَّرْنَاهَا تَدْمِيرًا. So the word comes into effect upon it. So we destroy it with destruction. وَكَمْ أَهْلَكْنَا مِنَ الْقُرُونِ مِنْ بَعْدِ نُوحٍ. And how many contemporaries we destroyed after Nuh alayhi salam. وَكَفَى بِرَبِّكَ بِذُنُوبِ عِبَادِهِ خَبِيرًا بَصِيرًا. And sufficient is your Lord concerning the follies of his servant, as acquainted seeing. Mutarafiha, its wealthy people. The destruction of a town with respect to the divine law is that the authoritative people in that area are given certain commands through the messenger, yet they disobey them in order to maintain their hegemony. That's how the word is proved true against them and destruction is caused to them. O reader of the Quran, just contemplate on it for a while that how many towns have been eradicated with punishment after Nuh alayhi salam due to their defiance. This fact makes it evident that the divine system is fully aware of the deeds of the people and keeps an eye on them. Man kana yuridul ajila, whoever intends the immediate, ajalna lahu fiha ma nasha'u liman nurid. We hasten for him from it what we will to whom we intend. Summa ja'alna lahu jahannam yaslaha masmumam madhura. Then we have made for him hell, dwell in it, censured and banished. وَمَنْ أَرَادَ الْآخِرَةَ وَسَاءَ لَهَا سَعْيَهَا وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ. And whosoever intends hereafter and strives therefore with all due striving, while he is believer, فَأُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ سَعْيُهُمْ مَشْكُورًا. It's those whose striving is ever appreciated. Madhuran, rejected. People of both types of perception live in this world. First, the people who are striving to get immediate benefits, and most of them don't even care about the social norms and rules, and their self desires are everything for them. Such people are given in this world according to their efforts, and they will be censured and degraded due to their deeds and will enter in hell. Second type is of those people who give precedence to hereafter and strive for it with pure heart. The levels of prosperity are dependent upon the efforts of the person. For the success in hereafter, one has to fight against his own self. According to the narration about the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, once he was returning from a battle, he said to the people that we are going from small strife to big strife. People asked, what is big strife? He said, fight against yourself. Kullan numiddu ha'ula'i wa ha'ula'i min ata'i rabbik. To all of them we extend these and those from the bestowals of your Lord. وَمَا كَانَ أَتَاءُ رَبِّكَ مَحْزُورًا. And never have bestowals of your Lord been restricted. Unzur kaifa faddalna ba'dahum ala ba'd. Look how we have favored some of them over others. Walal akhiratu akbaru darajatum wa akbaru tafdila. And hereafter is greater in degree and greater in distinction. Mahzuran, restricted. Allah Almighty is bestowing both types of people in this corporeal life. It can be realized how Allah Almighty gives preference to someone over other, and that is the effort put in by everyone, whereas the grades and distinctions in the hereafter are much greater as compared to this worldly life. It is up to us whether to strive for worldly acquisition or for the reward of hereafter. The choice rests with everyone. La taj'al ma'allahi ilahan akhar. Do not make with Allah another deity. Fataq'udu mazmumam makhzula. Thereby become censured and forsaken. Mazmumam, disgraced. Makhzulan, abstained from aiding. The one intending success in the hereafter is not to associate anyone with Allah Almighty and never consider others the fulfiller of his needs. The one who does that will be disgraced and no aid will be provided to him. His end results will be like those who intended for the worldly benefits. In chapter 17, Surah Bani Israel, verse 18, it is mentioned, whoever intends for hastiness, we will give him from that swiftly whatever we want. Whomever we intend, then we make for him the hell resides within it, cynical, disparaged. A summary of the second Ruku. Insan or man means the one who has forgotten reality and is following his desires instead of divine commands. Allah Almighty created this world for His recognition. His signs are spread everywhere. Allah Almighty wants for us to contemplate on those signs and become aware of the truth. Every person's destiny is wrapped around his neck, formed in accordance with his deeds. Since he has forgotten it, therefore he does not remember that before his arrival to this realm where he was. Whoever moves towards the correct course, he is benefiting himself, while the one who sets aside everything and considers his desires to be the ultimate goal of life, he is in fact harming himself. May Allah Almighty help us in understanding the Holy Quran by the grace of His beloved Prophet Rahmatul Alameen Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Sadaqallahul Aliyul Azim Sallallahu Ta'ala ala Habibihi Muhammadin wa ala alihi wasallam.